Hello and welcome to a look at a GBR Rally for the Amiga, a game that was released by Activision. You have entered the most spectacular, amazing, thrilling, whatever else you might call it, aerial event called the GBR Rally. And your objective is to fly through various different stages, trying to avoid colliding with other planes and ground objects, and beat the timer defined by whatever difficulty you are playing on. And once you have completed a stage, you will be given a point bonus based on remaining time, and on the following level you will be given a time bonus based on the difficulty. You will modify the divisional factor of the previous level's time and add that as a bonus. I do like when racing games gives you a bit of bonus time for performing well in one stage, so it's a nice little touch. Once you have completed 3 fly through the stages, you will be facing a special stage which will alternate between balloon busting and slalom. The balloon busting is that you have to pop a certain amount of balloons within the time given, and the slalom is very simple. I'll fly right around the red pillar things and left around the blue ones, and do that until you pass the finishing line at the end of the stage. Once you've completed a set of 4 stages, you will be given some sort of victory picture ceremony thing, and then the game will start at a higher difficulty level, of which there's a total of 8 difficulty levels, each consisting of 4 tracks, so 32 stages in total. You have 2 attempts per track. If you bump into stuff and crash, you will resume the race, but the time lost from crashing can usually be quite detrimental in your chances of completing the race. But if you fail a race, you'll be given a second chance, and if you fail that, it's game over. On the technical side, the graphics, they are a bit basic, but they are entirely functional, and in all honesty, taking into consideration this game is from 1987, I don't think it looks too bad. It's not exactly going to rock anyone's boat, I suppose, but it works, and it works well. And the movement of said graphics is surprisingly smooth and surprisingly quick, especially compared to later games which use a similar color switching technique to give a sense of speed, and many of them runs slower and choppier than on this little game. The sound effects are nothing spectacular, nothing special, but they suit the game and they fit the game, and it works perfectly fine. The music is of a decent enough quality, but the tone is of course 1930s music, because this game is set in the 1930s. So if the style is not for your liking, then you're probably not going to enjoy the music overly much. Control-wise, you can control the game playing with keyboard, joystick, or mouse, and for most people, the joystick will probably be the most natural option. And the controls are very accurate and responsive. But of course, because you are actually flying a plane and driving a car, you will have the ability to climb and dive, which will decrease your speed and increase your speed, respectively, of course. And this is used to avoid obstacles and other planes, which I suppose are obstacles, but you know what I mean. The fire button is used to define your speed between low speed and high speed, and outside of that, there's nothing much more to say about the controls. As I said, they are responsive and feels very, very accurate, so yeah. The gameplay is what it says on the tin. It's an air valley, which of course is racing on tracks, but in a plane instead of in a car. It adds an extra dimension, but all things considered, the overarching issue with this game is the fact that the difficulty is very, very hard to find. You wouldn't have to play this game an awful lot in order to get quite far into it, and because of the gameplay being what it is likely too simple and too weak for a lot of players, and yeah. The idea of the air valley might seem a bit far-fetched, but I don't know whether it's still the case, but they definitely were a real thing. For instance, the prototype for what later became the very, very famous Spitfire was actually used in an aerial competition of whatever type it might have been. I don't know whether it was classified as a rally, but it was part of a competition where it completely and utterly smashed all opposition because of its speed and maneuverability. The uniqueness of this game is the fact that you're flying instead of driving, but that is the only thing that sets it apart from other racing type games. The simplicity is very, very prevalent. The challenge level is very, very low. But all things aside, I think due to the fact that this game is from 1987, and due to the fact that it runs smoother and faster than a lot of later games, is reason enough for me to give it a little spot on the channel, because despite its simplicity, it has its own charm. And let's finish off by sharing the two other crash scenarios you can experience. You can end up in a pigsty, and you can get to meet a young lady. Ha. GBR Rally, simple, yet in its own way elegant, I think is a good word for it. On that note, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye bye for now.